Hi, I'm Erik Tate, and I'm counting down the top 10 best card tricks you can get on Penguin Magic. Stick around to the end of the video to hear about the card trick I use to catch people by surprise at my actual restaurant gig. Envylope starts this list at number 10 because it's an incredibly strong transposition of an envelope and a deck of cards. A card is freely selected, signed, and then lost in the deck. A small white envelope is placed in your pocket. In the blink of an eye, the deck of cards visually transforms into an envelope and the deck is discovered to be in the pocket instead of the envelope. The true kicker is when you open up the envelope and reveal the signed card inside. This uses a powerful combination of gimmick cards and built-in misdirection that give even a beginner magician access to a really powerful deck vanish. This is actually an update to the original trick with new gimmicks being more convincing and more durable than ever before. It's a strong start for this list, and we're only going to get better from here. Let's take a look at number 9. Penguin Monte is an update to the classic Skinner's Monte effect with new routines and handlings that make this Find the Lady effect even better than before. Your audience has to keep an eye on the Ace of Hearts, but no matter how closely they watch it, is magically jumping to impossible places and changing positions with the other two cards. 3-card Monte is an instant hook for most people because they've heard about it on TV or seen the scam on the street. This version doesn't require the complicated sleight of hand used by hustlers to empty your wallet. Rick Lax teaches you some awesome updates using gimmick cards that make this even more visual than ever. This was one of the very first tricks that I ever used to fool my father, and that's why it definitely makes the cut in my top 10 card tricks. Before we go any further, I'm Erik Tate. I'm one of the teachers and performers here at Penguin Magic. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe buttons and then ring the bell so you'll be notified whenever we put up more content like this. Let's get back to the list and see what I have at number 8. Poker Test by Erik Casey is another gambling-themed trick, but all you have to do to perform it is spread a fan of cards in your hand. That is one of the most strongest card openers you can do. A blank-faced card with blue backs changes to red, then an ace prince, and finally a royal flush appears out of nowhere. Erik Casey creates some really cool magic where the cards do all of the work for you. There are multiple changes in this effect with a routine that is easy for the audience to follow, but will also surprise them. He has used the principles involved in this to create other great effects like POW and the Princess Test, but Poker Test is still the original and often used by pros like Gregory Wilson and Johnny Ace Palmer. Let's move on to number 7. Vortex by Dan Harlan is one of the trippiest tricks you will ever perform. A 7 and a queen are held together at diagonal angles. They wave them together in a circle and their faces visually swirl together like, well, a vortex. Dan's original handling is awesome, but there's a great bonus handling by Rick Lax that performs a visual kicker at the end of it. The other great thing about this trick is that it plays up and out. The magic happens up near your face, which is always a nice visual for your audience to remember and associate you with the incredible magic. The best part is that this is just one gimmick card that you add to your deck to make the magic possible. This super easy trick is worth your attention. And now it's time to find out what I have at number 6. Close-Up Illusion by Larry Jennings is a deeply fooling effect where a red card seems to pass through 2 blue cards like a ghost. This incredible illusion sees the red card phasing through the blue cards like they weren't there. This deeply fooling effect is taught by Michael Amar, and you can make the gimmick in seconds. The gimmick is actually what does all of the work for you. The red card can be face down or face up, and you can actually see the cards melting through one another. Larry Jennings used to carry this around in his wallet to perform for people all the time. It's a very fun visual that will also teach beginning magicians new ways to think about gimmick cards. Let's move on to number 5. NFW by Gary Freed might be one of the greatest packet tricks of all time. One by one, jokers turn from face up to face down, and in a twist no one ever sees coming, the jokers all transform into aces. This one routine requires you to learn a little sleight of hand because it uses a move called the Elmsley count. The gimmicks involved are very clever, and it makes one of the most commercial tricks you can do with a small packet of cards. The best part for me is that at the end you can see the front and the back of each ace with no funny displays. It has an instant reset, and I'd say about every other month this makes it back into the rotation for me at my restaurant gigs just because it's so much fun to do and so surprising for the audiences that see it. We're closing in on the end here. Let's take a look at number 4. Monkey in the Middle by Bill Goldman is one of the cleanest sandwich effects you will ever perform. A signed card is lost in the deck. You carefully place 2 jokers on top of the deck and then immediately spread them to show that the signed card has jumped between them. You can then instantly repeat the effect. Magic Ballet is one of the great close-up magicians in New York who slays with this, and you get to learn from him in the tutorial. Now, even though you shouldn't normally repeat a trick, this is one you can, and it gets more baffling every time you do it. Time to get into my top 3. Bewave by Max Maven is a stunning little packet trick that is a piece of mentalism that has 3 kicker endings. You ask your audience to imagine one of the queens. You then reveal that that queen is the only one face up amongst the other 3 face down cards. You then prove your confidence by showing it's the only red back card while the other 3 cards are blue. You then blow your audience away by revealing you didn't even bring the other queens because the other cards are blank. Max Maven was one of the greatest minds that mentalism has ever seen, and his effect Bewave has become a staple for mentalists around the world. It's easy to do, instantly resets, and it fits in your wallet. There's not a lot of effects that can produce this much magic with only 4 cards, and Bewave gives you huge bang for your buck. Alright, let's find out what is number 2 on my list. Position Impossible by Brent Braun is one of the most accessible card number effects you can perform. You've probably seen Brent perform it on Fool Us. A card is chosen and then lost in the deck. A spectator names any card between 1 and 52. When you then count to the number that they named, the card is impossibly at that position. This is a fully gimmick deck, meaning that you won't be using it for any tricks other than this one, but it is extremely strong and extremely clean. It's important to note that this isn't a true any card at number since the card is selected and not named, but don't let that distract you from how powerful the named number can be. This unique deck allows the selected card to be both everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You'll love the secret once you learn it. Now, it's time to find out what is my number 1 card trick on Penguin Magic. Little Door by Roddy McGhie is arguably one of the most offbeat effects that you'll ever perform, and it's the one that I use to catch people off guard all the time. First, you do a pretty standard card trick where you're able to apparently know what card was selected. You then offer to show them how it works by exposing the secret, a tiny hidden door on the back of the box. You outline the door with marker and then show that it can open and close. It is a very surreal moment that audiences go crazy for. And what I really love about this is that you can hand out the box. And this is the part that I use to really catch people off guard. I tell them it's fun to play with the door and encourage them to try it. When they try and open the door, the ink wipes off and the box is fully examinable. Audiences love when they feel like they're learning the secret, and it really shocks them when that is actually part of the effect. It's incredibly fooling, and because of the way the handling is worked out, you can actually use the deck of cards as a normal deck after you're finished performing this trick because the gimmicks neatly tuck themselves away. It's an absolutely incredible trick, and that's why it catches my top spot. Well, that's my list of the best card tricks that you can get here on Penguin Magic. Let me know in the comments if there are some tricks I missed and that you think are great, and let me know other lists that you would count down. We love putting these lists together for you to make it easy for you to navigate the magic marketplace and find the magic that fits best for you. So stop endlessly scrolling for new effects and start getting jaw-dropping reactions right away. I'm Erik Tate, and on behalf of Penguin Magic, thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.